people will look at LinkedIn on their phones most of the time. So you can imagine what size the actual shot is. You've got no chance of recognising it whatsoever. So no, don't do that. The second one that some people in the room may do is they have a logo or something else instead of their picture. No, don't do it. So what does that tell you? One on the right. What does that company do? What's that all about? That's the guess I put in. Oh. So there's still another one that comes out from time to time. I also got told by an audience once that this logo here is from a famous film. It's from Kingsman. And I know whose profile that is, and they weren't in Kingsman. So yeah, that just doesn't tell a story either. So logos, no, it's a personal, professional profile. I want to see your face. I don't want to see your company logo. And again, your headline is not your job title, okay? It has long since been something different. So you're the CEO of XYZ company. So what? What can you do for me? In fact, if you're CEO, probably very little. I want to know what you can do for me. So an example of what you shouldn't do is this. Regional Director at the Alpha Group International. Now, what does that tell you about what this person can do for you? Exactly, nothing. Regional Director, okay, what region? And what does the Alpha Group International actually do? I haven't got a clue. Haven't given me any reason to engage at all there. So get rid of that and get something up there. And what we're looking at is something that will engage people. So I always say it's always good to ask a question. For my particular case, you know, are you looking for your LinkedIn profile to produce you growth and revenue? Question mark. And kind of people say no to that. Well, I don't really need to be dealing with them. I then go on to say, well, as a LinkedIn profiler, author, speaker, etc., I can help you. So I've got a keyword in there, LinkedIn profiler, and I've answered. They said yes, and I said I can help them. Regional Director, I could say I'm the owner of Solid Silver Solutions. Again, so what? And then we move on to the first 3 lines of your About section. Now this can still be seen, and I guarantee everyone in the room has got the word I, we or me in those first 3 lines. It's still about them, so those that are in the website space, you build websites for the person that's looking, not yourself. I do this, we're bringing that. No, don't give a hoot. It's what can you do for me? And it's exactly the same there. And it can be as banal as, I'm sure you would agree, it makes perfectly good business sense to work with a professional, fill in your thing. Again, only idiots are going to say no to that. And what we're using is psychology. The banner tells people, the headshot shows, the headline, and then that. That's 4 yeses. Guess what next thing most people will likely say after 4 yeses? Yes. Bad example. I. Straight away, within my, I, no. That's what it used to be. Person probably hasn't been told it's now changed, so I'm not blaming them. It's just an example, that's why there's no name attached to it at all. But once you get past those 3 lines, and they push the see more button, which is what we want them to do, that's the whole 7 seconds is around them pushing that see more button in your About section, because then that will open up the rest of the profile. Then we'll never see it otherwise. That About section is 2,000 characters. So take away the first 3 lines, you've got a fair amount of characters in there to promote the hell out of yourself. It's now your time, okay? So I want to see information about what you've done, what you've achieved. I want to see it in a format that I can actually want to read. So 2,000 characters of block text is going to put me off straight away. We don't like that. So an example here. They've used white space, paragraph breaks. They've used some icons. Now there's a really weird hang up with LinkedIn, and I don't know why, is if you've got a Mac, you've got access to the icon button on the keyboard, you can insert various different icons into LinkedIn. Also, when you go to that headline, you get about 55 extra characters if you use a Mac. I don't know why, but you do. So kind of really, really weird. But the idea here is the person has split it into sections, and this is the bottom half of theirs. They put in bullet points here. There's still some white space there, but really quite importantly at the bottom, there's a call to action, contact me. You've got them to read those 2,000 characters. Don't make it up to them to what to do next. Tell them, okay? Email me, look at my website, call me, whatever it is you want to do, stick it in there. Now this is the bit that caught me out. There's a series of links and uploads across the bottom which were accessible from the About section until last week. Not everyone in this room is going to have the change. I found that out, that they haven't put it out there. They're probably giving it to some of the agencies and super users first. But we have this new featured section. It now appears below the About section rather than being integrated into it. Now the original ones allowed you to upload PDFs, and also it allowed you to put in URLs. You could cut and paste any URL you wanted into there. If you've got a website, point it to there. Got a video, really use that. It gets very good indexing. And when I talk about indexing, if you consider the perfect profile would have 100, doesn't exist by the way. We're just trying to get you as many points as possible. The higher you come up the search rankings, the more chance you're going to get engagement. Okay, it's quite simple as that. The additions they've given us to play with, you can now put in a post or an article in there, but you've already got posts and articles on your profile, so why bother? Because they will gradually, over time, as you do the activity, which I'm going to talk to you about, they go further and further down the list. It's all chronological. These you can pin there and they can stay there. It's all editable, you can change it, so you know it's something, probably 4 or 5 different things across the bottom. It gives the viewer something to look at, but I'm also looking for indexing. So yes, what's it all about? Search numbers. That's what I work on. I don't work on the who's viewed your profile or the post views. For me, the search number is the real thing. What that number portrays is that in a 7-day period, which has just finished, I was found in 313 searches. Okay, that is 60 odd a day. Does that get me business? Yes, it does. Now, if you're brave enough, it appears just below your profile. I can't see it. It is only visible to yourselves. And I would guarantee a large majority of the room are below 50. $50 is maybe 10 views a day, 10 searches. It's a numbers game at the end of the day. Okay, who's got one? You laughing? Number?
Oh, sorry, 165.
Okay. I've seen people with thousands up there, but a lot of them are HR and recruitment agencies, so yeah, it depends. And the thing is, if you click on that 330 and the number that appears there, it opens up and it will show you the companies that did the search, so you can see what companies are looking. It also gives you the job titles of the people, so again you can see if it's the right sort of person. So I'm looking for owners and founders of companies, etc., the people that have got money to spend. I don't want job agencies in there. And if you're lucky, LinkedIn may tell you what search term that they've used. It's not constant, and I don't know why. But for me, you know, I often get it's around training and things like that. So that's ideal for me. But the activity is what it's all about. So we've got your profile, the top end is now engaging with people. It's getting them to push the see more button. You fill the rest of it in, which I haven't got time to go through the whole lot. But it's important that the activity is maintained, okay? Now if I'm busy or I'm on holiday, my activity drops off, my numbers can halve just like that. Even though I'm ranked at number 1 in the world for doing this. It doesn't matter. If the activity's not there, you will not get the numbers up. So what are the activities? Quite simply, from your home page you have access to the top 3 posts. Now this is something that you need to be looking at on a daily basis, not posting daily. That would be too much. But on the day you're not posting, to go and interact with other people's. So like, comment and share. They are indexed as well, so they're activity that helps towards your search numbers. Posts ideally 5 or 6 lines of text. I always put a question in there because I find questions are engaging. There's a debate about whether you should put an image on there. I think it's a no-brainer. I'll always put an image in there. As far as hashtags go, we've got any Instagrammers in the room? Yeah, forget it. LinkedIn have officially told us it's 3 is the ideal number of hashtags on LinkedIn, not 103 as it is on Instagram. So yeah, find 3 that really, really work. And then a little trick, if you want to get engagement, and that's what it's all about, as soon as you post, what you must not do is put any links in that free text, okay? Because that will take the person away from the LinkedIn profile platform onto the other one, and you're then over there. If you go back in, as soon as you posted, and you make the first comment, you can then put the URL you want to go to in there, and it doesn't cause any issues. Also, I suggest that you tag people. That's quite simply putting the @ symbol in and starting to fill people's names in. First line connections can be tagged in those comments. Christ, let them know it's happening. Get their permission to do it. Don't bug the hell out of them. But put in 3 or 4 people in there you know you want to get involved in the conversation. So if it's around marketing, things like that, I will tag Chris in. And then he'll enter the conversation. His people get to see it. It just expands and expands and expands like that. We did one in January of about 6 of us super users, and we got up to over 1 million. It works. So tag people in, but say make sure they know it's coming. Don't sort of just randomly do it. And then across the top, there's a downloads piece. That quite simply, just next to the camera, video, there's a document, allows you to actually put out a post, which is a downloadable document. People can click on it and it downloads straight to their computer. Good way of getting stuff out there. Articles. Now, who does blogs? Yeah, there's a few hands. Right. So yeah, blogs. This is LinkedIn's answer to blogs, articles. You can repurpose the ones that you've done. And I would always say if you are doing it, put it on the website first and then repurpose it on LinkedIn about a week later. But please change at least one image and one line of text, because LinkedIn will go, oh, you've cut and paste that. And they won't index you for it. We want indexing. Articles, ideally,